The Warden and the Deep Dark both go hand in hand for being some of the most exciting features coming as a part of the Minecraft Caves and Cliffs update. However, Mojang have really not shown us anything and not given us any solid gameplay or information about the changes made to these two features ever since the very first bit of gameplay we received all the way back in 2020. That is why in this video we are going to be talking about the Minecraft Warden and Deep Dark and the secrets around them. I'm going to be aiming to answer the question why Mojang have shown us nothing even though we are only months away from the release of this update. So if you are excited for these features to be added to the game, be sure you drop the video a like and subscribe if you're new around here for daily Minecraft content. But without going on for any longer, let's get right into it. So as I said, the real thing I want to touch up on in this video, in today's video, is why Mojang are showing us nothing about the Warden and the Deep Dark even though we've saw so much about everything else coming in this update. Is it something to do with a lack of time? Are the features not ready yet? Or are Mojang making some last minute adjustments? We're going to be trying to find that out, but first let's talk about the Warden and the Deep Dark themselves. Although I'm pretty sure you all know this by now, the Warden is a very interesting new mob coming in this update, and we really do not know what it is at the moment. Some say it's a boss, some say it's a mini boss, some just say it's a regular mob. Some people believe it's more of an event mob or something like that, but basically the Warden is a very unique mob which does not actually see, and it uses vibrations and sound in order to pick up where things are around it, and it will use that knowledge in order to hunt you down. And when it does, you need to be careful, because in the gameplay we saw in 2020, the victim in this case was King B-Dogs wearing a full suit of netherite armor, where then the Warden just came along and finished him off in just a few hits, which is definitely very over the top. Now, we know that the Warden is a very powerful mob, but apart from that we really do not know much. We'll get onto some other things in a moment. The Deep Dark, it kind of goes hand in hand with the Warden. It's the biome it spawns in, at least from what we know so far, and we, as I said, this is a common theme in this video, we really do not know much about the Deep Dark either. Some people believe it spawns just above bedrock, some people believe it's a biome. Apart from that, as I said though, we do not know much. It will spawn with these deep dark cabins in them, which will give us some kind of loot, although from what we know so far, this is just from what we've been told by the developers, this is all subject to change, but these will not spawn with any unique loot in them, and the Warden itself will not drop any unique loot. But as I might have kind of hinted at earlier, Mojang themselves do not really seem sure about what they're doing with the Warden or the Deep Dark right now in certain aspects, and that's one of the reasons I believe we've not saw anything about them at the moment. We're in September right now as of when I'm recording this video. It is September the 20th. Not too long ago we received our first ever Minecraft Caves and Cliffs update part 2 snapshot 21W37A, which brought a bunch of changes to the gameplay and to the terrain generation, the caves, the cliffs, all of that good stuff. And the one main thing that is missing, or I should say the two main things missing from these snapshots, are the Warden and the Deep Dark, although there's not much left to be added, and this has raised some eyebrows as to why the update is coming out in the holidays when it seems like everything is going ahead as planned, and from what we've saw in the snapshots, everything looks perfect and ready to be released. This has led a lot of us to believe it's something to do with the Warden and the Deep Dark. Now let's get on to the question I set out to answer. Why have Mojang shown us nothing about them since that original bit of gameplay? Now of course we've saw things about the Skull Sensor and Deep Slate, but we've not saw anything about the actual biome, the Deep Dark itself, and we've not saw anything about the Warden. And the one key reason I think Mojang are not showing us anything anything to do with them yet is because they're not ready. We've saw quite a few tweets from King B Dogs, who's been active on Twitter, about him actively going through the process of working on the Deep Dark and the Warden. I'll try and find these old tweets that I used in a previous video, but basically King B Dogs was talking about working on the AI for the Warden and porting things, which I think refers to making things work for Java and Bedrock both hand in hand. So I believe that the reason Mojang are not showing us anything to do with the Warden or the Deep Dark currently is because they are still working on them right now, which is very interesting. From the gameplay we saw all the way back in 2020 about the Warden and the Deep Dark, it seems like they were almost the focus of the showcase, like everything built up to that. And the fact that Mojang is still working on these features actively almost an entire year later, it's just insane to think about, and it makes me curious as to how many changes these things have undergone behind the scenes. This is a bit off topic, but King B Dogs has also talked about the struggles of not wanting to make the Warden too scary or not wanting to make it too derpy, trying to strike the perfect balance between everything he wants to do. So maybe there's also something going on behind the scenes at Mojang where it's kind of like a balancing act and a balancing game where Mojang are trying to find the perfect balance and to make this all work the way they intend. Because do not forget, this is quite a risky thing for Mojang to do, and it's something I never really thought I'd see them do. With things like the Ender Dragon, you have to go and find that. With things like the Wither, you have to summon the Wither. With things like the Elder Guardian, you have to go and seek that out. But with the Warden, it's just there, and that's why I believe this is so dangerous. So I believe it's either a balance of Mojang actively working on these features or them trying to find the perfect balance before they show this to us. But something that cannot really be explained is if they're working on them and they want to make it as good as possible, why are they not showing it to us through snapshots? And maybe this is where the side of mystery comes in, that both very mysterious and we know very little about them. Maybe Mojang just wants to keep that little bit of mystery there up until they actually want to show it to us. Maybe they just want to hold out as long as they can and then drop them so that we only know things basically when they know when they're done with them. That would definitely be interesting, but I cannot help but hope that Mojang do drop them in some snapshots soon so that we can give feedback, because maybe if the same thing happened with the Phantoms and they put them in snapshots early and allowed us to give a lot more feedback before they were actually fully implemented, maybe they would not be the most hated thing in Minecraft. So I get that Mojang maybe are still working on these and they do not want to show them to us in an unfinished state. Maybe they want to keep an aura of mystery around them, but I really cannot help but wish that Mojang would show them to us and allow us to help them and allow us to give feedback, because as I said, the Warden is quite risky with how powerful it is and the potential it has to be annoying to players. Let me know what you think about this down below in the comments. Have a discussion, that's what it's for, down below in the comments. But yeah, I'm excited for the Warden, but I cannot help as to be curious as to why Mojang are showing us nothing, even though we're in like, what, September? October's coming up very soon, and then the holidays start around November to December, so there's really not much time left for Mojang if they want to make these features perfect. And as I've talked about themselves, the best way to do that is by interacting with the community. But let me know what you think down below in the comments, everyone. It's been me, ItzJhief, everyone. Thanks so much for watching. Have an amazing day. Go play some Minecraft, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.